And we are live. Here we are coming to you from beautiful downtown Monterey. And this is a Wealthy Wednesday where we are a local, national, and international broadcast. I'm kidding. This is like the second time I've done this. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing, but speak it into existence, right? Act as if. I actually started this intending for this to be just an off camera conversation. Somehow now we're going live. I don't know. I'm just going with it. So here we go. And today for Wealthy Wednesday, I am so elated to bring our speaker to you. She is an incredible woman of power, absolutely. And I call her my sister from another mister. She is the owner and founder of We Got This Mind and Body, and she is building her online community. She does something at 5 a.m., which is her audio book club, her study club. Sometimes every once in a while, I wake up at 2 a.m. and I will jump onto her audio rooms, ask her. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. We're a mess, but we are here right about getting ourselves to the next level. And today we're going to talk with the most amazing Camille Jones. And here she is. Introduce
Awesome.
yourself.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited that the alarms are going off because they know it's going to be a hot topic. Let's
That's
go.
right. It's going to
It's going
be
to be a
fun.
hot topic.
It is going to be fun. That's right.
Right? So it came right on time. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me here in this space and place. You know, I love being everywhere that where you are, Leah. You bring so much information, knowledge, support, and giving us platforms to use our voice. So I first want to thank you for showing up for you and then also showing up for all of us here. And everybody else that's listening in the live would love to know where you are tuning in from. So drop a line of where you're if you are on listening live, definitely if it's on the replay, still put it in there. I'm always so intrigued, Leah, that we can now connect with so many people from different walks of life in so many different areas. So when I see different places, I'm like, oh wow, that was cool. That
Yes.
was awesome. So yes, my name is Camille Jones, and I'm the founder of We Got This Mind and Body, and I'm here to teach us busy AF women. Yeah, I said AF because we are busy. And sometimes we got to put that AF in there. Like, shoot, women to start prioritizing living a healthier lifestyle. Hey, Kira, Drew, Richmond, VA. I gotta go there. Oh, I've heard so much. Is it? Don't they go skiing there? Anyways, like one tangent. But what I do love about teaching us busy women about wellness is so much more than fitness and nutrition. If you're looking at holistic wellness, it's your mindset, your body, your metabolism. It's what your environment, your finances, your community, and that's what I'm here to really bring onto the LinkedIn space. And I like to call myself a wellness designer, because coaches, yes, I'm certified in everything that I do, and yes, I have my mentors. Yes, I've went to school and all that kind of great stuff, and I am technically a coach. I like to call myself a designer because we design your wellness to align with your lifestyle. And when we combine it with the love of your self image, then
Mhm.
that's where wellness is truly birthed. So I always say I'm your wellness designer and self image cheerleader. And I'm here rooting you all along the way of this thing called life, this journey. Because as we're building on our businesses, as we're building on our careers, on our relationships, being better parents or grandparents, we need to ensure that we are also building into ourselves too. First and foremost, because we cannot pour from an empty cup. And also, too, the power of the feeling of peace and joy that you get from your own self accomplishment to me outweighs any other type of accomplishment that I have, is because it starts with me. So that's a little bit about me. I can keep on going. Yes, Kira, my fellow,
Oh, we love it.
love it.
Absolutely. Wellness includes mind, body, and finances. Absolutely. It's about what happens between the 6 inches between our ears. If what we're telling ourselves, like Cassandra Terry says, the voice within wins, if we're telling ourselves we don't deserve it, hey, I've always been overweight, it doesn't matter, I'll just wrap myself in a big baggy clothes. I mean, if that's you and you feel good in that, hey, do you. But I just feel that health and wealth absolutely go together. And it really does start from within, what we believe we deserve, what we believe that we are worthy of.
Mhm.
And so, what we're going to explore today is really the impact. Is it health or wealth? You know what I say? It's both. Why have your cake if you're not going to eat it? Eat it. T. Harv Eker says you got to have both, right? I believe that they totally go together. And this is what I mean by that. I heard this quote and they said, if you forego your health to change your wealth, you're going to end up spending all your wealth to chase your health.
Yes.
Because it's got to be, we've got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Yes, we are women, whoever we are, and we are putting everything that we have into our business, into our life, into our family. But we got to carve out that part for ourselves. Like Camille said, we cannot pour from an empty cup, right? We have to fill ourselves up. And what spills over onto the saucer, that's for the other people.
Yeah.
And we can really bring our best to others when we are in our best health, mind, body, and spirit. So tell me, Camille, do you think that, well, I mean, what's your opinion? Do you think it's health, wealth? Like, what do you think about that?
Absolutely. First, hey Tara, so wonderful to see you. Happy New Year. And again, Kiara, wonderful that you're here. And you know what? It is definitely hand in hand, but we also need to understand that the wealth that we build is the byproduct, right? The opportunities that we have to live in this physical world. But there's so many high achievers, CEOs, people that are building up their wealth, that are going, getting that abundance of that finances. But what they're not doing is that they're not taking note of their health, meaning that they're not saying like, oh, I'm going. I'm not sleeping a lot. Oh, it must be because of this project I have. Oh, I'm not eating well. Oh, because it's probably because I'm so busy doing this in my business. But what actually was happening is that your body is trying to signal you, trying to give you, the body keeps the score. And if we keep going, chasing that wealth and not taking note of our health while we're going along the way, exactly what's happening happens is what you just said, Leah. And to know me, I want to let you all know in my past life, I was a certified financial advisor. So I did everything on financial wellness. And the biggest thing that I saw, and one of the driving factors of why I transitioned to what I do right now, is when I was creating people's plans and even selling them the insurance policies. There were so many people that built up an abundance of wealth and didn't even take note of their health. And now, you know what's so tragedy, Leah, is they can't even get a lot of the living benefits
That's
of
right.
insurances. And when you can't get, everybody only thinks of insurance as just the death benefit. But
That's
if
right.
you are a business person, especially a self-employed person, and you do not have living benefits in place, and you are not taking note of your health, if you are not being able to produce in your business and you are the business too, if you don't have that disability or that long-term care or any of the critical illness policies, then you know what? Your business suffers, which means that your wealth suffers. So I always say, as we are building the vessel to go on our journey of life, we need to ensure that that captain is at optimal state, mind, body, soul, and business. And because when you take note of your health, when those indicators, when your body is trying to tell you, hey, slow down. Hey, I need some more fiber in my body because I'm getting clogged up, because you cannot digest with high stress. You can't. If you understand how your body functions, you'll also be able to understand why certain things are happening to your body. It could be the behavior and what you're doing to it. Not intentionally, but it could be habitual or because you are doing your everyday routines. But the key really is to really take note, because I've seen so many people there that lost a lot of their wealth,
Right.
health. And that's why I'm here. I'm on a mission. And not only because of the health side of it, Leon, and I'll pass you back over, is I really want to stress to people that wellness saved my life. Yes,
Mhm.
it has complimented me, and I have the best self-image out there, and I want you all to feel the same way as I do. It's not cocky, it's not being selfish. It's about that self-love. The deepest love that you need to have in this world is the love that you have for yourself first. And that is unapologetically in love. But when we're doing that, Leah, we have to also be aware of our body. Take note of it, because we can really get caught up getting into this mundane cycle, into this mundane habits, and then we're not paying attention to that body. And that's not what we want. That's not what we want at all.
That's right. I love it. Oh my gosh. Did I tell you guys she was going to bring the fire? That is my Camille bringing the fire. And I love this comment we have here from Terrell. I hope I'm saying your name properly. What are the costs of not taking care of your health? The increase in finances to doctors, medicals, hospitals, all of that. And just like what Camille just alluded to, life insurance isn't purchased with money. It
Mm-mm,
isn't purchased with dollars. It
mm-mm.
is what buys life insurance is your good health. That's right. And 30% of the families that I talk to about creating their financial plan can't even qualify medically because their health is so compromised. And I teach about the 5 F's, which is faith, whatever you believe in, having your higher power, um, faith, family, finance, fitness, and then fun. And fitness is definitely a part of that. I have been very, very blessed and fortunate that my mentors have always talked about health and wealth. And they do a lot of challenges with us, like cold plunges and all these different things, because it truly does go together. It doesn't matter. And I know for me, I can say this for sure. When I'm not taking care of my health, I can't bring my best game to my clients. What I do requires a lot of thinking, a lot of concentration. Every family is different, and so being able to really bring my best to them requires me to really take some time to take care of my good health.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that, Camille?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was just writing down just for a note what you were just saying there is that the power of combining wellness practices in your business is huge. I was working corporate for 15 years, and every quarter our my company would do these like fun, we call them fun days, where we would go down to the boardroom, do these activities, collectives, figure out what color are we? Are you a blue? Are you a red? Are you orange or yellow? Ha ha ha, fun and games. You know what? When I was an employee there, I loved it because it was like a little day off from my desk. But now, as a wellness coach, and I understanding the whole methodology behind it, the reason why companies used to do that is because they knew that when they took time to stop from the business part of it and really
Mhm.
work on their employees' well-being, make it have fun, give us the great food. We were doing these funny things at our desk, like how to keep our body moving. Like, this is silly, but it's fun. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. I'll tell you what the madness, the method to their madness was. For the next 2 to 3 to 4 weeks after those classes, we employees were the most productive. All of a sudden, I love my company now. I don't know why I love my company, but I love it. I'm coming
Yeah.
into work. We're still giving each other high fives and going like this at our desk because of what we learned in that wellness workshop. And you know what happened? We were killing our bonuses. We wanted to get it. All of a sudden, we were just the
Mhm.
it was brought back in. And why it does that subliminally? Because the employees are now feeling like, wow, our companies care about us so much. Oh, I'm going to give back to them. I feel great. Oh, I was doing all of the stuff that they
Right.
for me to do that had nothing to do with the project.
Right.
It's our psyche. And that's why I even say when it comes to business people, we got to start looking at putting in when we're doing our business plans that we also add in a wellness plan in there. And the best way to start it is I'm going to talk about the 3Ds. And I am a huge Audible booker. And what I've learned in my Audible books is yes, with the personal development, we talk about the human being. There's two parts of us, the human side of us and the being side of us. So in my audiobooks, I decided to do this as accountability just for fun. And we were doing a lot of personal about the being part of us, our internal, our intuition, our intention, our building up new habits, the 5 a.m. discipline. And then now we're doing what we've done the 3 feet from gold and eat that frog. And why I added those two in, which are business books. And Leah, if you really take note of a lot of the business books you've even read in the past, they will talk about sales, they'll talk about lead generation, talk about all the business, and in between there, they'll talk about you. They'll talk about who you need to become, who you need to, that motivation, that mindset. Because every part of business that we're in, yes, we need to do the work, but we also need to become the person that we desire to be so we
So
can implement the things, the strategies that we know we need to do to have the things that we desire. And it starts off with the 3Ds, which is having the decision. That's that self-awareness, deciding, getting that clear vision, and then creating that discipline, which is the hardest thing that we do because what? Let's create it within ourselves. Good. Everything else is easy, easy, beautiful cover girl. We could do with everything else. And then the last one is the determination. The determination by doing the work, having the accountability groups, having the community, which is the common unity that's going to keep us accountable, but also to support us on the days where we feel like ish, which
Yeah.
is not other kind of ways because it happens. And yes, sorry, I could go on. You know me. I could
I know. I love it. I love it.
go
Absolutely love it. The three Ds:
it's crazy.
decision, discipline, determination. And what I think about when you were talking, what it made me think about when we were talking about the two parts of our mind is truly physical fitness creates new synapses, new connections in our brain. It's true, even if we're older. And when we're creating those new synapses, it opens up spaces in our mind where we can see things differently. So if you're having a challenge in your life or in your business or in your faith or whatever, if you just go and start working out, I promise you, when you come back, you're going to see it differently. One of my first instructors, my karate instructors, he told us, leave your troubles at the door. And a lot of people think that when we bow, it's about respect and honor, and it absolutely is. But it's also a signal to ourselves to put our troubles at the door and just focus on what you're doing. Just focus on your training. And when you go back out, he told us you can go back and pick up those troubles if you would like to. But oftentimes, what will happen is those troubles will seem completely different. You'll have a new connection. You'll think of a solution. Something will just happen to you. I walked in here today and someone just gave me a little gift. Like you just don't even know. And it comes from opening up that space. When
Yeah.
we open that up, the universe will pour into us. I mean, it sounds a little woo-woo, but I've seen it over and over and over again. At the same time, if I'm not taking care of my health, if I'm not doing the things I need to do to feel strong, then I will not bring that strength to everything else.
It is so true. I say what you do to yourself first is what you're going to project out to everything else that you do,
Right.
right? So if you are not willing to be disciplined with your own self, if you're not willing to take that time to just sit down and love into yourself, when I say love into yourself, that could just be even in pausing and saying, like, just reevaluating that feeling. And I love that you talked about the lenses because when we do have that deeper sense of self awareness and indicators that happen, our lenses are completely different than they were before. I view the world so different. That's why I talk with so much passion because I love everybody. I love this world. This world is a beautiful world. And how do I know that? Because I'm living in it, because
That's
you're
right.
living in it, because we are living in it. And when we collectively come together, it's not woo-ha. Wellness saved my life. Yes, I was active all these other times. Yes, I'm not a big sweet tooth eater by nature. It had nothing to do with that human side of me. Wellness saved my life because it made me get a deeper self-awareness and love for that reflection looking back at me. And so much that I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to that feeling. When you get into those feelings, right? When you add into combination your mindset with your
Right.
skill set, with your heart set, and your health set, that is the whole holistic path of life. There's so many different areas that we need to combine together collectively and know that as we are going through this thing called life, and this is why I say wellness is a lifelong journey, and so is our finances too, because that is also a vehicle that allows us to expand. Is for that reason there. We are in constant motion, we are in constant change, and change requires us to expand. And change requires us to evolve, which means that we are not going to be the same person that we were at the beginning of that change, right?
Mm, mm,
So
mm,
expand
mm.
with that change. And a lot of times, in order for us to expand with that change, it requires us to get rid of habits that no longer serve us anymore. And it also requires us to replace it with actionable steps, to replace it with communities, with opportunities. I don't know about you, Leah, but there's so many times that we give great opportunities to people, but they still have on their different lenses and they don't see it, even though that they have asked for it, they visualized for it, they manifested it. But because they didn't build up on their inner self-awareness, they're missing those opportunities. And that's the biggest difference of somebody who you see that's a greater success than you. They're not better than you. We're all born in abundance. We all are born in greatness. We are God's greatest creation. The biggest difference of a lot of us is the association, the
That's right.
opportunities that we get.
That's
And a
right.
lot of the times, those opportunities is not because you have bad luck. It has nothing to do with that. It could be because you're not even taking note. You're not focused, not taking inventory of that opportunity. Because it may not come in the form of something that you're used to. It may not. Like I'm used to finances and in children because I used to be a teacher too. And I didn't. If you had told me 10 years ago that I'd be in wellness, huh? It comes in different forms. But when you know that you're ready for it, just as we know the teacher appears when the student is ready. And then when that student is ready, they become that teacher. And then they still continue to grow and glow and go on their path and paying it
Right.
forward to their own teachings.
I love that. I love that. Did I tell you guys she was going to bring the fire today? I always say I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I just got to know the smartest person in the room. And you got to give Camille a shout out right now. She is dropping gold. And we've got some incredible comments here by Suhaili. I hope I'm not. Oh, Suhaila. I'm not hoping.
She's one of my amazing clients.
Oh my gosh, she is just it. She's dropping so much love on you.
Yes,
Camille has been my inner peace and joy, and that's why I'm sharing my story. Damn, that's fire. You know, that is so fire. And I don't even know what you do, but it's true. It is so true that our mess will become our message.
Yep.
And once we embrace that and understand that and start sharing our mess, is really when people are going, the right people are going to start to resonate and to attract to us. And I'm going to share something with you folks. When I first started in the financial industry, I was going through a very traumatic divorce. After 19 years of marriage, raising 4 kids, I found myself, I basically left my ex-husband just, kind of like that, ripped the Band-Aid off. And I felt so ashamed. I felt so embarrassed. I didn't tell anybody what was going on in my life. And I didn't share that for a long time. And then one time, one of my mentors, sometimes we have to be pushed in, like Lance just pushed me in the pool. Sometimes you need somebody like a good little brother to push you in the deep end. Yeah. And she actually had me as a speaker at one of our meetings. And she said, I want you to tell your story. And I said, what? I don't want to tell my story. I don't want to tell anybody my story. And it was just something she made me do. And it was really profound. First of all, it was cathartic for me. It was very healing because I was sharing. And at the same time, I was blown away. People were crying. People afterwards were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, you would never know that. We see the after. But we all have a before. So I love that you're telling your story. Tell your story. And like the great Brenda Lise Acosta says, get out of the box, jump on top of the box, scream and shout from on top of the box, and tell your story. And I promise you, you will find your life going from wherever you are to where you want to be.
Oh, that was powerful, Leah. This is why I'm telling you, we are sisters that were reincarnated and dropped in different sides of the we're on the same piece of rock. Right. We're just on opposite sides. But through the connection and the beauty and blessings of technology, using it with intention and combining our learnings and our teachings, we are able to not only get this unity that we have together collectively, but we're also able to pay it forward to everybody else. So I just want to celebrate us because it is awesome.
Yes.
And I want to celebrate Miss Coral from across the pond.
I know. Oh my days. Miss Coral is here with us.
I love it.
Have you, Miss Coral?
I love it. And Leah, I love that you talked about that messy part because that's where a lot of people get stuck. And it's funny that we're talking about this because I was talking about it in my 5 a.m. room, just talking about, there's something called the habit protocol, and that's from the 5 a.m. Club. It's a process, and actually it's even in Atomic Habits, but he calls it habit stacking. There's all different ways it runs the same way. Tim Storey also says it too. He calls it the madness, the mundane madness, and magic parts of our lives. And what
Mhm.
that is the first part is the hard part, which is taking that first step. And what gets us to take that first step is motivation, right? Motivation, we get so motivated. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna do this. Shadow boxing, getting excited. But there's another part of transitioning and habits and building and life, which is that messy part that you were
Yeah.
talking about. That
Yeah.
messy part, it's messy. That's where adversity is. That's where the failures that are actually not failures, they're lessons. That's where maybe some past traumatic situations are being reignited and triggered. And when
Mm.
you don't have that accountability, when you don't have that support, or even have that deeper understanding of your big why, are you going through this slush, this mess? What do? We give up, we pivot, we blame ourselves, and then we say we're failures, and then we stop right there. The motivation gets stopped right there. But when you have that accountability, when you have a proper plan in place, which Napoleon Hill always talks about, definitive purpose, a plan, being a part of mastermind classes, and having coaches and leveling up, and then of course taking action. And
That's
when you
right.
have those in place, that madness, messy part, you know what's on the other side of it? Is the magic. And
That's
that's where the transitions happen. That's when the expansion, the glory, the beauty, everything is right there in front of us. It's always been in front of us. But we have to go through these parts to build up that muscle within us,
That's
that
right.
deep sense. So I love that you talked about, I
Uh,
could go on and on about that.
I know you can. I love it. Diamonds are forged under fire.
Mm, that's right.
It's gotta be messy. Embrace the mess. Embrace the suck. If you're going through it, what do they say? If you're going through it, don't stop. Keep
Don't,
going.
don't stop.
Right? Because everything you want is on the other side of that. We call it 3 feet from gold. We call it your mess is your message. I mean, but the bottom line is we have to be willing to go through that process.
Yes.
And for me, what I think of a lot of times when people stop themselves or allow themselves to be tricked up, because the enemy doesn't have to destroy us, folks.
Yeah, it doesn't have
All
to.
he has to do is distract us.
That's it.
Suddenly, we got a distraction.
Yeah,
And a lot of times it's because our identity is really low. It's
yeah.
because we don't feel that we're worthy. And you're talking about accountability, and I want to kind of unpack that a little bit,
Mm,
because I think oftentimes people think of accountability as punitive and
yeah,
something negative, but it really isn't. Accountability is about us locking arms. It's what me and Camille are attempting to do here today.
yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. Dr. Benjamin Hardy says, what you track expands, and what you track and report expands exponentially. It's not, accountability isn't here to reprimand you or to make it punitive. It's really about, hey, okay, let's upgrade that. Let's change the language. Let's work on that narrative. Let's implement this. If that workout isn't working for you, maybe we have to modify it or do something like that, because we all start somewhere.
Absolutely. And you know what? When you think about accountability, Leah, I use this as an example. We as school children went to school, right? A lot of us did. And when we went into our classroom, we sat at our desk and looked straight up at the blackboard. Was a blackboard teaching us, or was a teacher teaching us? Was a professor there teaching us? And that's what, and did we have homework? Homework was a form of accountability and doing the work. A lot of the stuff, I tell this to my son all the time. He's a teenager, and I always say to him that yes, functions. He's like, "What am I going to use functions? What am I?" I said, "It's not the lesson that you're learning there as much as the skills that you're building too as well. Understanding the power of that accountability, doing the work, having that type of homework, and a lot of times the accountability also is there to remind us, because that as you said, what happens in between our ears, and sometimes it can lie to us. It can lie to us. And if we don't have somebody to remind us at times, or even give us another option, like I'll give an example of Sohaila. Sohaila is one of my clients. She's been one of my clients for 13 months. She came to me thinking, just saying, I can't do any type of workouts because she does have a limiting, with her back. So she can stand up. She could not stand up at all. Like she's like, how am I supposed to do workouts? I don't know. She was so hard on herself. So instead, this is wellness. We don't just go right to the fitness and the nutrition. We
Right.
go and we unpack through hearing the story, through releasing, having that person of support. And what we did is we worked with that support. And I have a program called Because I Have a Voice, and that's revealing the superhero within. So we did that first. We were really working on shifting her mindset through the voice that she was saying herself. And I have acronyms for that. So when she did that, then we started doing, as I always say, when it comes to workouts, they can always be modified. So we did workouts in the chair. And then we started doing nutrition that worked with her stomach and her diets because she also has medication. Remember, we all have different things. And I know that she's always allows me to share her story. So I just want to let everybody know this too. And she had all these things that she couldn't be able to take because of her medication. So we used food. Because I know that that works because my husband battles type 2 diabetes and now he doesn't take any medication because of the diet that we have him on. And not a diet isn't losing weight, it's just that part. But what I'm saying is that now Sahila is now joined me. We have now joined forces with amazing community that
Nice.
provides even more opportunities for us all at a lower cost. And she's doing it now. And in 13 months, she has not only released her mind from any form of mental slavery, she's lost 62 pounds.
Wow.
There's all like to see what she could do last year versus now. They're like her doctor straight up said to her, "You're not allowed to leave this program that you're doing with Camille because whatever you're doing, it's
That's
working." Her doctors have said that to her. They're like how they give me a report on whatever you're doing, keep it doing. And but it started with doing the combination of wellness, so much more than fitness and nutrition, and
that's
that's why it's important to have that accountability and that coach. So Leah, I have to do
I
a shame.
love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. Because just like we were sharing, everybody starts somewhere. Now
Yeah,
people see Suhaila her after and she's 62 pounds lighter and she probably feels stronger, more fit and more mindset and stronger in all aspects of her life. However, people who meet her today don't know that story in the beginning where she didn't even think that she could even do a workout. Girl, that I don't know you, Sahila, but your story needs to be told. You need to write an ebook. We got to have you as a guest. And she gave this incredible, she's given dropping so much gold in the comments here. And she's saying that new lenses of viewing the world differently because we see ourselves and that determination comes from that love.
yes, it does.
We have to be willing to love ourselves enough to care for ourselves, not just for us, but for our family, for our colleagues, for our community to be our best selves. I would love to hear your story, Sahila. I absolutely love that.
Leah,
Yeah.
you have to hear it because I thank you for saying that, Leah, because you just made me realize something too. A lot of people don't just see me as just fitness and see me
Right.
as I'm just posting all that kind of stuff, but I have to do that because unfortunately, the human side of us needs to see tangible, physical stuff before they
Yeah.
realize that there's so much more behind it. And you are right. When you see Sohaila, if you saw her again less time last year versus now, whoa! But if you don't know that story, you would just think that she's already in her glory and she's been in it. I,
Right.
I agree with you. So, Sahila, definitely, I think you should. I not even think this is another task good because you're so ready to release. And we could even do it in our community that we have now. We have a huge wellness community that am I able to just share it, Leah? If it's
Yes, please do. Yes.
awesome. So I have an amazing offer. I'm super, super excited, but I also am looking for some serious people, some serious women, mainly women, because it's a community that we're teaching us busy AF women that we can do this effectively. We are everyday women, meaning that we're not ex-athletes, we're not vegans, we weren't doing this for 30, 40 years. We just want to feel great about ourselves, have that peace, and take out that time for ourselves collectively. So I have an amazing wellness community that I've combined with where we have the workouts that we do collectively. We have nutrition, meal plans, mindset. We have something called Growth Day with Brendan Bouchard where we're always talking about mind shifting as we are going. And we have it as a steal of a deal only until January 31st. I'll just tell you how much it is straight up. And then you also get our amazing Shakeology, like our great superfood drinks and our energized drinks. So how much it is for Americans is $223 annually with the discount. Plus you get an extra year free of extra workouts. That's what for the Americans, for Canadians, because of our good old dollar, gotta love it. But they still love what I love about this company is that they still compare it. So it's $241 plus tax for us Canadians. And it's still and that's annually. That's not monthly, that's annual
Wow.
to join this amazing community and see that when you do the work, when you have that collective and you have the accountability, that messy part, It's here nor there. And we are all diverse from all different walks of life. You can
Yeah.
do this all online. And the main thing is it is about becoming who we know that we need to become. Like one of my clients said to me, I said, Camille, I know I'm an active person. I was like, yes, girl, you are an active person. You labeled yourself that way, and we're gonna do this. Right. I love that. And that so that we can do the things that you know you need to do. And that's what we have in this community. We have all of the makes it easy for you. There's really a no-brainer for you except to show up, and we create it for you. And then you'll have all that you desire, and you'll realize, like Sahila, again, that 62 pounds that was lost wasn't just from the workout
Huge.
and was not just from the nutrition. It was from her really stepping into her confidence
That's
and
right.
doing the work. So thank you. I'd love for you. I'm looking for some serious women. This deal is only available to January 31st. Let's eat that frog. If you know what I'm talking about, it's all about that procrastination. We're not doing it today. We are going to be working on ourselves, and we're going to do it every single day with style, love, and of course, grace.
Absolutely. And so, Hyla, I really want to give you so much recognition because oftentimes I meet people. I've been in the financial services for 18 years, going on 18 years. And oftentimes I meet people who try to do it the fast way. They went and had surgeries, they had liposuction, they do bypasses, and they truly compromise their health.
You
And
do.
I've watched people, they will lose all the weight, but what have they not done? They haven't changed their mindset, they haven't changed their diet, they haven't changed their worthiness, their identity. And guess what happens? And I see it over and over and over again. They lose 100 pounds, they lose 62 pounds, but where are they a year or 2 years or 5 years later? They are right back to where they were. And oftentimes they've gained more weight. And now, by the way, they are uninsurable.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes they cannot get life insurance. And I want to share this with you. This is so huge because oftentimes people think of life insurance, just like Camille alluded to, as just about death insurance. But there's so much more to true life insurance. It can pay you if you have a critical illness. You get diagnosed with like a cancer, heart attack, stroke. I have a client who's a roofer in Hollister. He suffered a heart attack 2 years ago, and he received a check, tax free, by the way, over $200,000. Now, here's the thing, it was intended for him. He's a roofer, he's self employed, he doesn't have disability insurance. So it's there for him if he needs to run his business. But by the way, he can do whatever you want with that money. But if his health had been compromised, he couldn't have even owned that product. And life insurance, in my mind, it's another tool, not only to pay your family or you if you have an illness, but it's the most efficient way to create wealth and generational and multi-generational wealth, even if you are not wealthy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? I didn't come from a wealthy family. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I'm going to tell you what, it is my responsibility that a wealthy family is going to come from me. So I love that. So Hannah, your story, I'm excited to hear about your story, your book, your ebook. Invite me to your party. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. She really has done so much, but again, she's done the work. In order for her to do that work, she had to take the action and take that hard step. And was it easy at first? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Was it messy in places? 100%. And she'll even tell you, because she has these certain flare ups that happen, that in the past, she would used to sit in those flare ups and just be so angry at herself that this happened. Now she embraces it as a time of peace and maybe this time to slow down, calm down, get in tune with her body. And when she's done that, the flare ups have reduced drastically. Drastically. And that's why I said there's no such thing as wuha. There's power of the mindset with the heart set, the soul set, and the heart and the health set when in combination collectively. And I just want to tell everybody here, say to everybody, I should say rather, that what Leah just said just now just solidified her expertise. I just that was a mic drop. A lot of people do not realize the power of life insurance. And I'll even talk about it as being in a Black woman. We weren't ever able to have these insurances in the past. And I worked in a bank and I saw so many people build up life legacies that they were able to give to their families,
Right.
the blessings of insurances. But if you are not able to even qualify, what you're going to be doing is that you're still going to be working, and then maybe not being able to address some of the taxes. Here in Canada, the taxes are atrocious. So when you have the insurances in place, it allows you to pay off those taxes. And the insurance money is one of the only few money in Canada that's not taxed, right? And that's why it's so important for us to take note of our health. Because if we don't take note of our health, we could be missing so many opportunities to build on our wealth that is right in our back pocket.
Yeah.
I also was a chartered life underwriter, which is a higher designation in the insurance industries for businesses to do insurance policies. And if you think you can get away with saying, I could just run it underneath my business, it still goes down to your health. When it comes down to health check, they still do it. Right, Leah? And I just want to say what she just said there, that's how you know that she is an expert at what she does.
Oh, thank you.
Connect with her because a lot of people, when they are selling life or talking about life insurance or finances, they're talking about it as the product as opposed to the benefit and the long-term goals of it. That's huge, Leah. So I just want to say, woo, woo, you just got me.
Thank you.
You got me going back into my financial part. I was
Your
like,
friend days, yeah. I really love what I do. I do a lot of living trust also. I do all the financial
mhm.
aspects, and I was helping a family with his living trust, and he was almost in tears. Now, I am not an attorney. What I do is I help people to unpack and get prepared and organized, unpack what they have and get prepared and organized so that when they meet with the attorney, it saves them money and time. And he was just here in my office, and afterwards, he just didn't even want to leave. He kept hugging me and, thanking me and what else can I do for you? And I'm not saying that to say something about me. What I'm saying is that that's the impact we can have when we're really coming from our true self. What I do, I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it. It is my passion, my crusade, just like what Camille does for her, what she does with the health. That's why she gets up at 5 a.m. and she's doing the mindset. I don't know a lot of fitness coaches that do mindset and do book studies. I mean, she's truly looking at the whole person holistically and proactively so that when you drop that 30, 40, 50, or 62 pounds, you're not going to have that boomerang effect and come right back in a year or two. And now suddenly, you've gained it all back and even more. So I love that, Camille. One thing I want to ask you is, let's just kind of take it down a notch here. We talked a lot of intense subjects, but I love seeing your kids on your fitness. And tell me about how that happened, because I just think it's adorable. I love seeing it. I'm watching their transformation and how they support you. Was it always that way, or help us to understand how you've gotten to where you are right now, having your kids on your workouts and stuff?
well, as we know, when you're in an environment and you're doing things, especially with young people, they're gonna see you doing it too and say, "Hey, can I do it too? Can I do
Right.
it too?" And what have you. So I just started where I wanted to eradicate that feeling of I'm a busy mama three. I don't have the time. Oh, my kids are always around. Blah 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 blah. No, if I need to stop and drop and do 50 squats right here, right now, I'm gonna do it. So
Right.
I just started doing movements around them, and then they're like, "What are you doing, mom?" I'm like,
Like that.
"Oh, yeah, you want to come and join me?" So then they were like, okay. And they would come and do all these stuff. They see me doing it. And
Right.
on top of that, the biggest thing of besides seeing me do it, they also saw when I fell through that rabbit hole of my mindset and I wasn't feeling good. And now
Right.
they saw mommy doing all of these amazing stuff, like the readings. Like we in our car now, I do audibles. So my kids know all about the strangest secret. Let me tell you. But you know what? From doing that, they now have also seen the result of the actions of
That's
what
right.
mommy's been doing. It's not just, oh, mommy's working out. That's fun. Yay. They saw me at my worst. They're seeing me doing the work and like, mom, you're so much more calm. I like you. I like you, mom. I want to be. I'm like, oh, shoot, they're liking me more. Now they're even more around me. Shoot.
Right.
Right. No, it's a
I
good,
love that.
the biggest thing they saw without even me have realizing it, my own transition. And the biggest thing, like my teenager said to me the other day, he's like, mom, you're so much calmer now. Like, why are you so calm now? I'm like, because I'm protecting my peace, honey. And I allow what I allow to come into myself. And even when I do that 5 a.m., I did that, Leah, because even as a wellness designer, And just like you, even though you have mentors, you have coaches, you have accountability, I do too. But I didn't have anybody to hold me accountable to doing the audible books. And waking up at 5 a.m. is not, it wasn't, I didn't burst that. I mean, the first 3 weeks I was splashing water in my face, slapping my face, look in the mirror, like, what the hell am I doing? You know, all these things. I tried to come up with so many excuses. But by the first week of me doing it, oh no, Leah, people started coming in. Shoot. That's a good shoot, though. It's a good shoot because that brought in the accountability for me. And I
Right.
just decided to do it because this is my way of giving back. I found a need for
Love
myself.
it.
Like, let me just give back. This could be something for somebody else too. And for me, giving back, it also built up accountability. And now I have a tribe that people come in every day. And I get excited now to do these. And I'm learning so much by revisiting these books and having other people's perspectives. And it really is affirming the beauty of wellness. I just am
I
so,
love it.
I'm
I
so
just love it. I
Mhm.
wish you were in my time zone, but every once in a while at 2 a.m., I'm going to poke my head up there.
Fine.
What I love about what you said about your children is that you're teaching them through osmosis. And
Yes.
this is what I mean by that. Most things are not taught, they are caught. You could sit there and you could tell them, you need to eat right, you need to be in good health, you need to exercise. But we all know what happens with that, right? How many of us listened to our own parents when they gave us those lectures? But you didn't do that. You did it by modeling and them seeing your behavior and how you have evolved and grown. And I always think of my little precious 5-year-old grandson. I can't believe he's 5 now. I call him high five. So every time I see him, I'm like, you high five, Mijo. I gave him 5 $1 bills for his birthday because I love Mel Robbins and the high five habit. So everything, I'm just, what am I doing? I'm building synapses. I'm changing his mindset. You're high five. And we talk about that. So I always think of my grandson. And so I started to do that with him. He wants to, he out of the blue, he just said, I know karate. I said, he's like, well, he's never even been to a dojo. He doesn't even know what a dojo is. Oh yeah, I know karate gams. I'm like, oh, okay. So instead of me telling him, let's go to karate class and I'm going to teach, I just started doing some little things there with him. And he's just kind of like, look, I want to do that. So I love that you're doing that. I think what you're doing, you are building up their self-worth, their character, their identity. You can't even quantify that. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love seeing that whenever I see your little ones on there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that so much because it's all about all who we are. And this is what I think about that. Sometimes people say, oh, I have my work life and I have my family life.
Yeah.
I have my business and then I have my other thing over here.
Yeah.
Listen, it don't work that way. That is incongruent.
Yeah.
People are going to see that you're not authentically, they say, call it being your authentic self. I just call it being real.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't be anybody else. I have people sometimes they make fun of me. Oh, you talk with your hands too much. Dude, it is what it is. I'm going to tell you. I'm just, it isn't something I ever thought about, but people will start to what? They try to tell you things, change this. You just got to be who you are. And the right people are going to resonate with you. And my mentor said this to me, and probably about a year ago, and I have embraced this so much. He said, if you're not turning anyone off, then you're not turning anyone on.
Mm, that's good. I like that. I like that one. I love that. And I want to say thank you for acknowledging my children too as well. Because another thing that I do with my children is I am huge on preaching and teaching about body diversity.
Mm,
Because so many of us get stuck in our own self-image because we're comparing ourselves to something that is like apples and oranges. And that
right.
could be our past of when we were 20 years old. It can be for your friend and you who were both pregnant at the same time and she's back in her pants and you're not. It
Yeah.
can be because of your cultural background. On,
Right.
on teaching that our body diversity is what makes us unique. Exactly what you just said. It's all about you. It's all about
Mhm.
being who you are and it's keeping it real. And I keep it real with people when it comes to body diversity. So my children are all different shaped. They all eat the exact same. And again, my husband battles type 2 diabetes. I say
Mm.
battles because we won the war with food. So we don't have any sugar in our house. We can't because he's also a bad diabetic. They'll sometimes try to creep in. And I always know because he's passed out, right? So we don't have that there. But all three of my children are shaped completely different. They're all active
Yeah.
and they're all everything. But what I do with my kids is that I want them to celebrate their bodies. And the way how we celebrate our bodies is through the nourishment of the activities that you do, of the things that you're putting into your head. Like we don't watch, I don't have cable in my house. My kids don't even know what a commercial is. They have no idea what that is. Right? What you put in your mindset, loving yourself when you look in the mirror and just know speaking life. Just like you said, that high five. Anybody who's can get up at 5 a.m. That's actually on the roster for February. I am a Mel Robbins freak. I love her, but you want to know why I love Mel Robbins? Because I swear Mel Robbins, I think she's a part of our I
I
think
know she is. Did you see her post the other day? She's like, I woke up like this and I'm staying like this. Did
I
you see
love
that?
I
Gosh,
love
it's
I
hysterical.
honestly to know a little fun fact about me is I'm terrified. I'm trying to say just change my language on that of going over bridges. And I used to think in my head there's something mentally wrong with me. Like
Right.
even if something was a flat bridge, but if I knew it was a bridge, you just
Right.
say climb up the I'd be like I have to drink water, hold somebody's hand. It would be so bad that I wouldn't even go certain places because I already mapped out all throughout the province of Ontario where all the bridges are on the highway. And then
Right.
Mel Robbins posted a post on her fear of bridges and how she transferred it into how we can limit ourselves on fears that are not even existent. They're not
Okay.
there. And when we focus on the outcome of the beauty of us achieving it,
Yeah.
instead of the fear that we have already embedded in us, we'll see that that bridge is just another part of our journey. But I
Okay.
was my whole thing was I love the message, but I was so humbled to know I thought that it was the only one. But everything that she said, I get clammy hands, I sit up, I'm like, that's me. But I just want to say that's the power of being you. So don't try to fake it because somebody else maybe needed to hear that story to know that there's nothing wrong with them either. And maybe they needed to hear a strategy to eradicate whatever that feeling is too. And it came from your story. So that's what I love about Mel Robbins. She keeps it real. She talks.
Absolutely.
She's like, I'm drinking. That's her goal for 2024. She's like, I drink too much.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to wrap it up here. But if anybody in the comments has a question for the amazing Camille, we'd love to answer your questions. And as they formulate their questions for you, Camille, I want to ask you, what are we going to see in Camille in 2024? What is your vision? Where are you going? Sell us a dream. We want to hear where what 2024 is going to look like, how you're going to soar in 2024. Tell us that.
Awesome. Well, my name is Camille Jones, and I am abundance. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am faith, and I am integrity. I am taking 2024, and it's all about wanting more. And what is the wanting more of? Is having stages and spaces and places where I can use my superpower, my voice, to amplify the beauty and blessing of wellness, to encourage others to take the plunge on themselves through wellness, to get the referrals from all around the world to build up wellness. So in 2024, you're going to see Camille combining with her partnership company because the company that I partner with is all aligned with everything that I am. And I am a top influencer in that company. And I'm going to use that blessing to share my message of wellness on large stages all across the world. So prepare to be sick of me because I
I
am
love that.
for
I love that.
the long run.
You know, we have to act as if, and that doesn't mean that we're being fake or inauthentic. What it means is that we are speaking it out.
That's it.
What we speak out, I started this with we're a local, national, international podcast. Listen, I think we got like, maybe nobody on here. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking to it's just me and Camille. I don't know. But if we don't speak it out, it's like we're hiding. We're hiding.
Yes.
What we speak about, we bring about. You never know. Maybe there's one person on here, and that one person hears something, and now suddenly they connect Camille to another speaking engagement or some other people that need her workout. You just never know what can happen. But if you don't share it, then nobody knows it.
That part. And I appreciate you giving me that platform to use my superpower, which is my voice. I greatly, wholeheartedly appreciate you. And I'm excited to see us all go glow and go in this 2024. And let's doing it together and collectively. So thank you very much for
Absolutely. And Miss Coral says, love it. Prepare to be sick of me. We can never be sick of you. I agree with you. I am addicted to my Camille. I'm telling you, I just wish we were in the same time zone because 2 a.m. is rough.
I know.
I get up at 2:30 a.m. on Mondays for Motivation Monday, and that's rough. I got to tell you, it is.
I bet you. And it's because the next book that we're reading is what you just said it somewhat is The Liberty of Our Language is Revealed, and it's talking about the power of how we speak out. It comes back to us, it's like a boomerang, and it's a great book. It's great. So on those times of insomnia, pop in. That's the next book. It's starting next week. It's a powerful book on the art of even the language that we speak to ourselves.
Absolutely. If we understood how powerful our words were, we would never even think a negative thing ever. Man, that's so huge. And sometimes it's insidious. It might not even be a conscious thought or a negative thought. It may just be, oh, this coffee's not warm enough, or oh, look at it's too overcast today. It's all those little insidious things that compound, and now they take us way out of the space that we want to be in.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, I forgot one last thing, Leah. That's from our 2020 is I am on a mission, and I'm not lying. I'm doing a world tour of Camille, of everybody on LinkedIn. I'm coming to California. I need to come and give you a hug in real life. I'm going to Texas. I gotta go and get that voice within from my Cassandra. Like there's so many people. They don't know this yet, but I'm coming and I'm knocking on everybody's door. But I really am putting it out there because the energy that this beautiful platform has brought us, which is the connections that we have developed within us. I'm telling you all, with in combination of what I do with Wellness Save Meditate, you all continue to ignite the fuel there. And remember, it's our environment too is a part of wellness. And I can't wait to eventually get off of these spaces and places in person and give each other that high five.
We're doing it. You don't even know. We are doing it. It is going to take it. We're taking it to the road. Right? We're going on the road. I love it. Thank you so much for your time, Camille. It is an honor and a pleasure to speak with you and just tap into your wisdom and your knowledge and your expertise. And that's it for our Wealthy Wednesday.
Can I just say one last thing there? I just want to give a shout out. I love to give my shout outs to people in the when I see in the comments. Isn't to my other dear friend Sophia coming in here. I am here for sure. So speak it out and loud. I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna say it one last time. I'm looking for my serious women. Come and join me. And January 31st is the end of this deal. Don't miss out and come and let's do this together.
Nice.
Leah.
And our next Wealthy Wednesday, we are going to talk about the 5 F's of financial freedom with the amazing Mr. John T. Carr. He's going to drop the mic too. It's going to be amazing. Wealthy Wednesday, same time next week, 9 a.m. I believe.
9 a.m. your time, so 12 p.m. my time.
All right. So, all right.
Are we doing it live? Are you doing it live or audio?
Apparently we're doing it live. I don't know.
So I'm sick of me and your comments.
That's right. We love it. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the love. God bless. Enjoy your day.
Bye.
Don't log off, Camille.